try to keep everyone healthy this time. Stop letting people die so easily, because I tend to do that. Where is the... I don't remember. This is where I just came from, I think. I'm trying to remember where the... what were they? Orcs or goblins or whatever the hell they were. The little cave. Son of a bitch, man. And I don't know where I'm going. This is the start of the world as we know it. What is over here? Oh, here's that other town. I think... Son of a bitch. I think that place was south of here. So I'm gonna go south. Actually, let's go in this town and see if anyone has anything important to say. How about you? Sea is full of horrible creatures. That does not help. How about you? Town to the west. Yeah, everyone's saying the same shit. Pirate still has nothing to say. After I kicked his ass. Alright, south we go. Son of a bitch. So if any of you saw the video I came out with that was entitled "This Should Be a Classic" or "Why Isn't This a Classic?" In the description of that video I talked about a possible series that I wanted to start, and it seemed like a lot of people liked the idea. So I might be starting that soon. So that could be pretty cool. I have to write some scripts for it and see what I think. See how they come out, see if I think it's funny or if it's boring. And then decide from there. There's also a lot of other cool stuff coming up, but you guys aren't allowed to know about it because you're not in the Patreon exclusive club. Sorry. You can be if you want to be, but you don't have to. This series will always be free. You can watch it for free. Not have to worry about paying anything. But if you want to support the show, you can join our Patreon, and then I can tell you more exclusive cool stuff about videos that are coming in the future. But for now I have to keep it secret. Shh. Secrets. This is gonna be a short sit down of playing because I have a lot of stuff to do today. So it's probably only going to be like 3 episodes worth, and then I'm going to quit. But that's okay, because it will give you guys ample time to come up with some questions to give me for the next episode, so that I don't sit here and talk about nothing, because nothing is boring. That's the other great thing about doing a live stream, is that with a live stream I could be talking to you guys, and we could be having a conversation, rather than me just talking to nobody, which can sometimes get boring, because I have nothing to talk about. Here's something to talk about. You guys see that new Yu-Gi-Oh game on PS4? What's it called? I forget. But it's got all 5 of the TV series in it. And you can play all of them. And it's kind of cool. It's like the Yu-Gi-Oh game that I wish I had when I was into Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid. now I'm not into Yu-Gi-Oh at all. I quit a long time ago because I didn't like the way Yu-Gi-Oh's played, really. I was a fan of it when the show came out, and I was just transitioning off of Pokemon because I don't know how old I was, but I was a lot younger, and I hadn't gotten into Magic yet, which is what I usually play if I play any kind of card game now. But I was just transitioning off of Pokemon. Pokemon was getting to be like childish, and I was looking for the new cool thing, and Yu-Gi-Oh came out, and all my friends were into it, and I was like, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh. But the more I played it, the more I started to not like it, because I don't like the way the game works. I don't like how you spend all of your resources to place a strong monster on the field just for it to get blown up by Fissure, or Dark Hole, or Trap Hole, or the 7,000 other cards that just destroy monsters. So it got kind of annoying really quickly, and I made a deck that had like almost no creatures in it, and I beat all my friends with this deck that was like total crap. It was probably like a $20 deck. Like, all the cards were just the shitty cards that everyone threw away. But I made this deck, and all it was cards that hit life points. It was basically a burn deck, if you're familiar with Magic terminology. It was a burn deck, and by the time they spent all their resources getting out a big creature, I would just blow it up, or I would have already destroyed all their life points. So it was really hilarious, and all my friends got pissed off and wouldn't want to play that deck because they'd have their super expensive, strong cards, and I would just blow them up and win. Because I realized that the game really had like a huge flaw. Now it's different. It seems like they counteracted that by just having a retarded amount of good cards. But that original series, that was the way to go. Just blow up anything they play, and don't worry about playing big creatures because it really wasn't worth it. Boom! Yeah, that heal. That heal is pretty sweet. Cure 2. Cure 2. Cure 1. Well, she's out. I hope I'm going the right way, or at least towards something of some kind of interest. See, there's a dock I could have... Fuck! It's like a dead end. Son of a bitch. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh kind of fell off for me. But the last Yu-Gi-Oh game I had, because there was like Forbidden Memories and all those like PS1 games that weren't really Yu-Gi-Oh because they didn't have the technology yet to make a game that was exactly like the card game. So they made like Forbidden Memories, which had like its own rules, and you could like merge cards and shit. And it was fun, but it wasn't actually Yu-Gi-Oh. And then there was a Game Boy Advance game that I had that I really liked because it was actually just the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. And you could even put in the codes on the bottom of your cards and get your cards in the game. So that game was a lot of fun, but I broke that game too because I made an Exodia deck that just was unstoppable, which was the other big flaw in the game. Back in Series 1 was Exodia. It's like, I don't know, man, I feel like that's just a rule. Like, if you're gonna make a card game, you don't make a card that just wins. I mean, I know you gotta get all 5 pieces, but you just don't do that. Like, everyone's just gonna try to get that card and make a deck out of it, and they're not gonna care about buying any more of your other cards, because those cards are obviously the best. But, I made an Exodia deck that was just absolutely unstoppable. Ooh, this is scary, actually. I'm gonna use fire on something. Holy shit. I've never fought this many ogres at once. let alone a chieftain too. What the hell? I thought they were weak against fire. What the hell? So, but this new game has all the series, all 5 of the TV series, and I don't know if they're doing another one or if they're still going. I haven't kept up with Yu-Gi-Oh, but I knew about those 5, and it's pretty cool. It's at least nice quality, but for me, it's just too much. Did you just hear that? Seymour's crying at me again. Seymour, what are you doing? I'm gonna have to. That's the other reason I need to only play for 3 episodes worth, because my cat is gonna have an absolute fit if I play for any longer. But the problem with the Yu-Gi-Oh game is that it lets you use all the cards from all the series. Like you could be fighting Pegasus from the first series, but have the cards from the 5th series. And the other big flaw with Yu-Gi-Oh, and the reason why I'll never get back into it, is that they continue to make cards that are better in every way than previous cards. That's the thing that makes Magic so nice. Like, if you're into Magic, and if you're not, I'm not saying get into it, but with Magic, and even Pokemon, I feel like was the same way with their cards. They never made a card that was just in every way, without a doubt, better than every other card. Pokemon maybe did a little bit, but I don't know, not really, because even if like for example, Magikarp sucked, right? You would much rather want Staryu than a Magikarp in every circumstance ever, because they're both water and Staryu's just better. But Magikarp can turn into Gyarados, so like there's always a plus. But in Yu-Gi-Oh, a lot of times there's a card that has, for example, 1500 attack and 1000 defense, and then there's another card with 1800 attack and 1000 defense. And so you're like, why would I ever in any circumstance ever play that 1500 attack card when the 1800 one is so much better? And that's where Magic's really nice, because every card has its advantages and disadvantages, and there's always a deck that you'll want to put certain cards in and a deck you'll want to put other certain cards in. But for Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like every series they just come out with better cards, and then all the other old cards are like completely obsolete, and there's usually a couple cards from the old series that you'll want to use, but other than that, you're going to want all the new cards. So, I mean, sure, it's a ploy probably just to get everyone to buy the new cards, but at the same time, it makes someone trying to get back into the game really annoyed, because all their old cards are now, like, worthless. And not only that, but they ban, like, fucking half the cards that come out. Like, Magic does that too, but not as horribly bad. Like, maybe every series that comes out, a few cards get banned, because in the later series, something comes out that works with it way too well. But Yu-Gi-Oh, they'll come out with a card, and then 2 seconds later be like, oh shit, we fucked up, that card's way too good, and just ban it. And then it's like, well, everyone just went out and bought that card, and now you banned it. Good job. So, and they take like cards on the list and off the list, and they change it way too much. Magic does it sometimes, but not nearly as often. And I'm not saying that Magic is better than Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm just telling you my opinion on why I play Magic rather than Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm sure, I mean, if I were into Yu-Gi-Oh a lot still, then I'd love the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, but I quit watching the show after the first series, because I thought it got stupid after that. I loved the first series, I thought it was really cool, but after that, the second series was just, it was okay, but I just kind of fell out. I mean, I was growing up too, so that's part of it. But, I mean, I guess I wouldn't say the second series was really that bad. I just kind of grew out of it. But then there was like, now we're on motorcycles, and I as much as, maybe you like Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds, but, and my buddy does, and I told him it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and he's like, I know it's the dumbest thing you've ever seen, but I still like it. But, how, whose idea, just tell me, just whose idea was it to take a card game and put it on motorcycles? Like, just stop and think, who looked at this and said, let's do this? Who? Just who did that? Who even had the thought? Who was riding on a motorcycle and said, you know what would make this motorcycle so much more fun if I was playing a card game on it? Just... what? Why? Just why? And I'm sorry if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I'm sorry if you're a 5Ds fan. I'm not saying you're stupid for liking it. I like some stupid shit too. But whose idea was it? Just who came up with that? I just want to know. I just want to know what nut job in Japan thought it was a great idea to do that, and then sat in a room with a bunch of other really smart Japanese people and said, this is what we're going to do, and they were all like, that's genius, let's do it. Like, I just can't even fathom. I don't even know why. I don't even know. It's one of the silliest things I've ever seen. And what really because maybe in the end I could get over the motorcycles, okay? If the rest of the show is fantastic, you know, I could probably get over the whole motorcycle thing. But the show is so annoying. They explain every fucking card like we're all idiots and we've never played Yu-Gi-Oh before. If you're watching Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds, you've probably watched some of the other Yu-Gi-Oh shows, because if you haven't and you're watching 5Ds, you'd be like who would watch that if they weren't already Yu-Gi-Oh fan? So you have to have some, like, you have to believe in your audience that they're not retarded, and let people play cards, like play fucking Monster Reborn, and not have to explain it, because everyone knows what Monster Reborn... People who don't play Yu-Gi-Oh know what Monster Reborn does. Like, it's fucking obvious. But every time they play a card, I'm gonna play this card, it has exactly this much attack and this much defense, and I'm gonna put it in this position, and if you attack it, I'm not gonna take any life point damage because it's in defense mode. And then I'm gonna play this magic card, and this is exactly what it does, and it's gonna do this, and then I'm gonna end my turn, and the other guy's like, oh shit, this guy just played some motherfucking cards, I'm gonna play these motherfucking cards, I got this one, and it does this, and I got this one, and it does this, and I got this one, and it does this, and I'm gonna attack, and it's gonna do exactly this much damage, and now you have exactly this much life points left, and if I attack one more time, you're gonna lose. Like, just shut the fuck up and play the game. I remember I was watching like the first episode, and this guy had the audacity to tell us how many more attacks it was going to take to kill him after like every motherfucking attack. Like, we can't do math. If you're watching Yu-Gi-Oh, you're a nerd, you can do math. Like, you could do basic fucking subtraction. This guy's like, oh, you have 2,000 life points and I have 1,000 attack. That means if I attack 2 more times, I'm going to win. Just shut the fuck up. I can't even I can't stand that. Like, it's so annoying. It reminds me of games that do the same thing, where they like inch you into like everything's a fucking tutorial, and you're like, I know how to play the game, shut up and let me play. But the reason that like the new Yu-Gi-Oh game, the PS4 game, is so broken is because it lets you use the pendulum cards from Series 5 in Series 1 through 4, and the pendulum cards are absolutely dumb-tarded nonsense that just breaks the game to no end. Like, just completely destroy the game. There's no reason to play it because pendulum cards exist. I mean, I have a cousin who's younger than me, so he was into Yu-Gi-Oh longer than I was, because he kind of grew up with it. I didn't grow up with it. I was turning teenager when it was going through its rounds, so like I grew out of it. But he grew up with it. It was kind of like everyone my age has like a certain connection with Pokemon because we grew up with it. So even when it got kind of stupid, we still stuck with it because it was what we grew up with. But he grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh, so he followed it all the way through the first 4 series, and he played the card game and collected the cards and made decks and all that stuff. But he said once the pendulum cards came out, he quit. Like, that day, he quit and never played again. And I have a half-brother who played with him, and he did the same thing. They both quit the day that pendulum cards came out. Because they're stupid. They make every other card in the game completely obsolete. You could have spent hundreds of dollars in your entire childhood collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and then pendulum cards come out, and every card you've ever collected is useless. because they're that fucking strong and that fucking stupid, and they just break every rule that exists in the game. So you use those cards in like the first 4 series in the game, and you just wipe the floor with everyone, and it's no challenge. So, and I played the demo, so I don't, you know, this is kind of like hearsay because my buddy bought it, and he was kind of telling me that that's the way it's going. I only played the demo, so I'm just kind of relaying what he told me. But as far as he said, he's just wiping the floor with everyone because he's got pendulum cards, and they're just so overpowered. And since he's playing in like the first and second series, they don't even know what pendulum cards are, so he's just destroying them. But the game itself was put together well, and I had fun playing the demo. So if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, you should definitely check it out. I just wish it wasn't ruined, because I'd probably buy it if like the series, if you could only use Series 1 cards in Series 1 and only Series 2 cards in Series 2. If it were like that, it'd probably be a lot more fun. You know, but oh well, that's what they decided to do. I see a lake. I don't know where the hell I am. Looks kind of scary up here. Ogres! Well, but I found it. Well, I did just rest, so that should be okay. I still can't get over that motorcycle thing, though. How could you... like... I don't even know. I don't know. And how do you beat motorcycles? You know, I never watched the series after that. Series 4 or 5. So I don't know what they did to make it more entertaining. If I had to guess, they probably went back to normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they realized how stupid it was. But... I mean, what do you do after motorcycles? If you're trying to be more badass than playing Yu-Gi-Oh! On motorcycles, what do you do to top that? You know? What is left? Fucking riding on dinosaurs? Playing Yu-Gi-Oh? What? Flying in planes? Playing Yu-Gi-Oh? I'll be honest, I kind of like the Dice Monsters thing they did for like 1 episode and then they gave up on it. They should have done more of that. But Dice Monsters doesn't beat motorcycle racing. No way, man. Nothing beats that. This is fucking bullshit. I'm getting poisoned out the ass again because of frickin' tarantulas. This is bullshit. Good thing I bought antidotes. I was telling my buddy the other day, I actually kind of miss Pokemon. Like the card game. Like the original Pokemon card game. Like, it sucks that Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and even Digimon, they had to like expand. I mean, I know they had to because people were gonna quit playing eventually, so I'm not blaming them. But it sucks that there have to be so many Pokemon now, because when I was growing up, there was 150 Pokemon, right? And it was like every kid's dream, like every kid's fantasy to collect all 150. And there was no bullshit where there was like fucking 500 and no one cares about collecting all of them because there's too fucking many of them. It's more about just getting the ones you want. But when we were kids, we felt like we were Pokemon masters because we were trying to collect all 150, you know? And that was like a foreseeable goal. Like, you could do that. I actually did do it, but not when I was a kid. I did it after I was a kid, just to kind of fulfill that dream that I had when I was a kid. But it was like a foreseeable goal. Like, you would get a pack of Pokemon cards, and there was a chance for there to be any of the 150 in there, if I remember correctly. Were there different Pokemon packs? I don't know. But see, with like Magic and stuff, think I finally found the cave I was looking for. Is this the right cave? Yeah, sweet. But I don't know if this is the crystal eye is what I need here. Hey! You need adamantum. Adamantomite? Is that how you say it? Adamantite. That word that's in like every Final Fantasy ever. But I still can't pronounce it. Alright, what do you need? You need nitro powder. I don't think anyone needs the crystal eye here. So this was a waste of time. Everyone's saying it's the west. Everyone's saying the west. And the west is where the problems are. Is the crystal eye enough to solve the problems of the west? Or am I just gonna go west and get completely trashed? I don't know. But this is what I'm gonna do. I got 8 minutes left before the top of the hour, which is when I was gonna quit. Actually, I'll quit a little bit earlier than that. But before I quit, I'm gonna go back to the first town. And I'm gonna see if anyone wants a crystal eye there. And if they don't, then come next time that we play, I will go west and either use the crystal eye or die. Because that's what I'm guessing is gonna happen. It's either gonna be way too powerful and I'm gonna die, or I have to use the crystal eye over there and that's the next place I gotta go. So that is the plan. But I don't have enough time now to go there. Where did I park? It's over here. You don't park a boat, you dock a boat, but I'm gonna say park because I'm a loser. So, yeah, my guess is that I have to go west. I'm hoping the crystal eye is used over there, I don't know, but that's what I'll do next time. And like I said before, leave questions below of stuff you want me to talk about. That isn't Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I already talked about that. Not really. You can post it. I don't care. You can give me questions about anything. Personally, games, not games. I don't care. Anything you want. Make me talk about Digimon, man. Digimon was the shit, sorta. It was that shit that everyone didn't get into. That was cool, but no one got into it. I loved the Digimon show, man. I wish more people were into it, because I was all like, Digimon is awesome, and they were like, psh, fucking Pokemon. Digimon's for losers. But Digimon was the shit. Digimon had awesome video games. They had a unique card game that still really hasn't been, like, duplicated. I don't know where I'm going. Oh my god, there's like no land anywhere. The only thing I didn't like about Digimon was that everyone's name had to end in Mon. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of a stupid idea. But I guess it was no more stupid than Pokemon saying their own names. So, we actually had a... Oh, Mike and I were talking the other day in Grimm. We're talking about Pokemon that don't say their names. That was hilarious. I wish I would have gotten that on film. Because we're talking about all the Pokemon that don't say their name but instead make noises. And we were realizing how retarded they all were. Like Staryu. He doesn't say Staryu, he says Staryu! Like, what the fuck is that? What is Hiya? Are you a ninja Staryu? Is it because you're like a ninja star? Is that what you're referencing? Then what is Victory Bell? Yeah, what is that? What is that noise? And then there were like, and then there was like Meowth, who could speak English, but only that one Meowth. And then there's some Pokemon that say their whole name, and some Pokemon that just say part of their name. I mean, none of it made fucking sense. Okay. At least Digimon, they could just talk. They could speak English. Their names were stupid, but they could speak English. It made the show a lot more interesting. Instead of just having to deal with Ash and fucking Misty being annoying all the time. You could actually listen to the Digimon talk and shit, and they all had personalities. Damn it! I'm never gonna get back to town. Like, never gonna get back to town. Especially with these fucking gogglers that are the most annoying motherfucking enemies. Because I keep missing them and they keep paralyzing and they don't even do any damage. So what's the point of this fight even? Why fight something that does no damage? Somebody tell me why you would want to fight something that does no fucking damage. What is the point? Tell me what the point is. It's just a waste of fucking time. The game is just wasting my time. That continent has like a lot of water. It's really interesting. I don't want to fight this. I just want to go back to town. Also, Jen needs to heal us. This continent is fucking huge, and I can't get around it. Oh, here we go. Is this? Oh, this is the site. Okay. See, I had my directions totally fucked up. Bitches, lava snake fire in this nigga. Yeah. I'm white, by the way, so I'm allowed to use that word because I'm white. That's a true statement. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Alright. We're gonna sleep. I have a lot of money. Did you notice that? Then I'm gonna walk around, see if anyone wants this crystal eye, and when they don't, I'm gonna go west. But that'll be next time. On the next episode of Dragon Ball Fantasy. That's another thing I could talk about is Dragon Ball Z. But I don't have enough time right now, so maybe next time. I don't know that much about Dragon Ball Z though. I only watched the first season and then, you know, parody videos and whatnot. That's all I watched. Do you guys have any need for a crystal eye? Heyo. I wish you could. No, it is nothing. You must prepare for your journey ahead. What do you want, Sarah? You want the D? The D? I don't know. Seriously, what's she talking about? I don't know. She wants the D. She wants D's D. She wants the DD. Alright, well, no one wants the crystal eye here, so. Alright, we're gonna stop there. Thank you again for watching the Final Fantasy Epic Let's Play thing that I'm doing. Thank you and stuff. Leave a comment below. Let me know what I should talk about next time. Give me some questions. Personal, video games, I don't care. Leave the questions so I have something to talk about, so I don't ramble about Yu-Gi-Oh! Again and yell. Although everyone yelled in Yu-Gi-Oh! So. Anyways, thanks again for supporting. If you want exclusives from this Let's Play and also a bunch of other stuff, check out the Patreon page. If not, don't worry. Keep watching for free. That's totally cool too. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Seymour, stop crying back there. I'm trying to end the video. Stop. 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 See you guys next time.